Hey guys, it's me, The Red Encryption. I asked you all what you would want in an end update, and I made some of your responses. Let's go through them and see if you can find yours, if you submitted one. The majority of you all, 39%, said that finding the stronghold was just right in terms of difficulty. Some people decided the problem was the fact that the Eyes of Ender shattered sometimes. 62% of you said navigating the stronghold was easy to some extent. 85% of you said that 12 Eyes of Ender was enough for lighting up the portal, but the other 15% said that perhaps that should not be the case. The majority of respondents, a whopping 31%, said that the Obsidian platform should remain as is. For most respondents, the favorite part of the dragon fight is delivering the final blow. 85% of respondents said that they prefer to kill the dragon as fast as possible. 62% of people prefer to fight the dragon with friends, and the rest, 38%, said that they prefer solo. So in terms of the central end island, people only want minor changes to it, which we will cover later in this video. 8% of people said that end busting was their absolute favorite part of the end. Understandably, people prefer end ships with elytras above all else that can be found in the outer end islands, with 46% of people saying that was their absolute favorite part of the outer end islands. When asked, respondents generally wanted something like the 1.16 Nether update to happen to the end. A single person said that finding the elytra was exceedingly difficult. A few people have expressed interest in an increased frequency of end city generations. The first change we encounter is in the end portal itself. It now requires a supercharged Eye of Ender, in addition to 11 normal Eyes of Ender. The place in which the supercharged Eye will reside is called the Keystone Ender Portal Frame. The supercharged Eye of Ender requires an Eye of Ender in the center, surrounded by 2 blaze powder on the top and bottom, as well as 2 diamonds on the left and right. Now that the portal is lit, we can jump in and make our way to the center of the island. The ground looks a little bit different here. When you are fighting the Ender Dragon, be wary of the Ender Sand, which will entrap you, and so you will have to watch where you're going if you don't want to get slowed down fast enough for the dragon to deal enough damage to you with her Dragon Balls. No, not those types of Dragon Balls. Also notice that all the obsidian spikes have the cages around the ender crystals. This is to make sure that the fight is a lot more involved than using a bow. Also, the dragon cannot take damage until all the crystals are broken. These are real features requested by real Minecrafters. When the dragon is at half health, it spouts out miniature red dragons that will have to be killed before the main dragon can take further damage. Regardless, once you have finished off the dragon and her dragon minions, you can either jump straight into the exit portal or take a visit to the outer end islands. You'll notice something different, that there's a new biome that we will call the Purpura biome, one that is very lush with pink grass and trees that look like they're watching you. Make no mistake, they are! You can harvest the eyes that are active and grow your own trees to make this nice deep purple plank set, but you can only do so in the end, wherever. In this new biome, you can encounter a set of new mobs, like nice ones, for example, like the Ender Mud and this Ender Bird, which will help you in your end-related adventures. If you look at the sides of the island, you may notice a few blocks of the new ore, the Purpura gems, that will facilitate the newest sets of tools among other things. In islands with the Purpura biome, they will spawn in veins of 1 per chunk per island. You will want to watch out for the new enemies, namely the Elder Shulker, much tougher to kill despite not being able to close its shell. Killing them provides you with Purpura gems and up to twice the Shulker shells. If we continue along the edge of the island, we can find this peculiar setup of blocks with eyes and pressure plates on top. The blocks themselves are called teleporter blocks, obtainable by crafting with a block of ender pearl in the middle, iron ingots in the corners, an Eye of Ender on the right, redstone dust at the top and bottom, and a Purpura ingot to the left, which I will show you how to obtain later. They're able to teleport any entity that is on top of the block, a certain amount of blocks in the direction that the block is facing, and the number of blocks is controlled by the signal strength that it is provided. So if you activate the pressure plate on top, you'll be teleported 15 blocks in the direction that the eye is facing, unless you're shifting. This setup of teleporter blocks leads us to another island that is of another biome, the Noxlands. Be careful, because if you find yourself on one of these islands, you'll suffocate to death. Unless you're wearing a pumpkin on your head. Why you would come here to this kind of island is apparent. That you want to get more of that new ore faster. In a Noxland island, Purpura ore can generate in up to 5 ore blocks per vein per island chunk. This particular Noxland island has a peculiar structure on top of it. Going into the middle will put you face to face with this interesting obelisk type structure, on top of a block that kinda looks like an empty end portal frame. By the way, do you have good weapons, armor, and other equipment? Because if you don't, and you light the block with a supercharged Eye of Ender, then you are massively screwed. The obelisk boss fight starts with a barrier forming around you so that you may not escape, unless either you kill it or it kills you. And don't think that you can treat it like a regular iron golem by building up. It can jump pretty high and catch you off guard like that. If you are among the few unfortunate enough to defeat it, you can actually obtain its cracked heart and summon an obelisk golem for yourself, or use its cracked heart to create auxiliary cores for the Ender Smelter. The Ender Smelter in and of itself is a pretty fast smelter, being made of 2 Purpura gems on the top and bottom, 6 endstone blocks on the sides, and a furnace in the center, Auxiliary cores can be added to the ender smelter by placing them in the 3x3 space around the smelter. The aux cores speed up the smelting process and can be shared between smelters. In short, the aux cores work like bookshelves around an enchanting table. It was a lot of fun making these things that you have submitted. Thanks for watching.